Sequencing emotion in a delicate formation. Numerology's wisdom is a language of vibration. Welcome to the Numerology Hour. Host Kelly Brickel is a numerologist, psychic medium, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's working with spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, precision and heart always enters the equation. Now, here is your host of the Numerology Hour, Kelly Brickel.
Hello, everybody. We made it. We're here. We are here. We made it. Thank you for just coasting with me as I come on the Numerology Hour a little bit later than expected. Sometimes that's just where we are. We're just flowing and finding the thing that sits most within the schedule. So again, thank you for being with me here today. Hello, everybody. Hello, Jennifer. We're going to be doing numerology readings in just a second. So if you have a question, if you have an experience with numbers, or you just want to look into your chart, please pop down your birth date or ask your question, and that's how we will go into readings. So it gets busy towards the end, so sooner than later, that's what I say. We are in a cycle because we're a little bit fresh in the month. We're already almost to the second week. Isn't that nuts? It's just so nuts. I feel like the beginning of July was yesterday. Of course, we did 4th of July. But it doesn't even seem like that. I don't know. It's been very strange. I don't know how everyone else is feeling with the energy, how quickly it's moving again this month. But things pick up definitely at different rates month to month. Thank you for everybody for coming on in. Like I said, thank you, Jennifer. Hello, Phil. Great to see you from Wimbledon. That's excellent. One of these days, maybe next year, I'll be over to the UK. I would really love that. Hello, Dawn. Thank you for people for popping down your birth dates, because we'll be ready to go in a handful of minutes with those readings. But I really want to put some focus on the month, because everyone globally, worldly, experiences certain vibrations. And that is a different style of reading numerology. So there's personal numerology, then there's world numerology, and then there's clusters of numerology where you're going to be looking at groups of people, not exactly the world, but you're going to be looking at corporations, countries, companies, etc., families, etc., etc. But for all of us globally, we are in a year of 8 and then a month of 6 right now with July. And so that means collectively we are going to be experiencing 6 energy. And that energy, when it's in this placement, is a fast vibration, just like last month. It's a fast vibration 6, and it's about service. And you will always feel like there's something to do, whether someone's calling you or you feel inspiration within yourself, like I could do more, or I'm going to put a little bit more into it. I'm not even going to think about it. And suddenly my schedule's a little fuller because I'm working harder. 6 is about putting yourself into a purpose that's not just for yourself. So we're talking about family, friends vibrations, community vibrations, and it gives us a little bit more energy in our tank because we are here to do something that ignites us, not just from our own battery. So it's always nice. It's always nice when you have 8 and 6 together. So like I said, we all have that 8 year that follows us, even with our different months as they change. So the 8 and 6 combined, they're much more like of a serious vibration. So things are going to get a little bit more serious this month, and you're going to really reassess your life. Last month, for instance, is more a little bit of all right, I'm working and figure things out, but let me just juggle and kind of figure this out. And I want to have a little fun while I'm at it. My gosh, spring's here, but summer as it comes, right? Um, it leads us right now into July, and that is a much more, okay, yes, it's so lovely outside, but then how can I make my day to day lovely, and how can I improve things around me? And so there's a responsibility level that comes into this vibration this month. So you'll see yourself a little bit more apt to help. Okay. Do I have any questions on what's going on with people's charts? I'll go into readings in just a moment, but I always like to take number questions too. If somebody sees repeating numbers or has a question about one. Hello, everybody. I'm going to say hi to everybody too. Coming on in. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Jack. Hello, Trish. Yes, time is moving very fast. I agree. Light speed. Light speed. Hello, hello. Hello, Pat. Hello, Dawn. Thank you, everybody. All right, so let's go into some number readings. Why not? You know, certain days are more chatty than others, and we are in the month of service, so let's get into it. So I'm going to start at the top with Jennifer. She was the first one in, and then I'll work my way down, and then I'm going to see who pops their way in. Okay, here we go. So Jennifer, one question before, of course. I love it. And then nick of time, really quick. We're seeing. All right. Does anyone? So Jennifer, do you have a question about the repeating numbers? Because absolutely, I love that you're always receiving those messages, and you are on time with being in sync. Absolutely, Jennifer. You said, I'm constantly seeing 212 on everything. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to go to Jennifer, and then I'm going to jump to you, Michelle, if you want. Give me your birth date, and we can go into why that is a little bit more. So you're going to be next after Jennifer. All right, here we go. So I'm scrolling back up. And all right. Is there anything that you wanted to look into, Jennifer? Because yes, I can do general reads. Yes, I can go into kind of like what your forecast is and what your personality is, but I can actually look into things based on these numbers too as well. So, all right. If you have a question, pop down. Jennifer, you are an attitude 4. You're a personal day 9, and you are a life path 4 as well. Let me just double check. Yep. And yep. And then you're in a cycle of 3. Okay. All right. You said my mom lived at 11 and Nan at 22 in the same, so close. So those two have been with me most of my life. Can you break that down really quick? My mom lived at, are you talking about like the address? Like for like the street or the unit or the building? Let me know, Jennifer, what you mean like that, if you want me to address anything. And then you say you feel now on the right path. Okay, cool. So we'll just go and talk about the energy. And Jack, yeah, doors are significant. I'll talk about that too. So I'll swing around to you as well. Doors are very significant, especially if they represent the energy of the house. Like if you are unit 17, that's very influential, actually more influential than your address, because everybody, let's say if you're an apartment unit, everybody is going to share one address, but you only have unit 17. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that. Yeah, numbers are really, really important when you are buying property and you want something to gel with you. It's quite fascinating. I love it. I personally love it. Okay. So you feel like you're on the right path. Same. Okay, you're talking about the street. Okay. I love that. Okay. Those are great numbers, 11 and 22. Wow, those are great numbers. When you have vibrations that actually are master numbers, like your grandmother and mom had, um, it signifies amplified energy in that home. So amplified love with the 11, amplified structure with the 22, and it really does make that house like a powerhouse. And usually people flock to those houses. So if you can understand, I know especially with the 22, people would flock to that house. So there would be gatherings, or they would be like friends that would come over to the house. It'd be a more social place, more activity. Can you understand this, Jennifer? Okay. And that can follow the 11 too as well. So just let me know with that validation, because I'm really curious too. But I know that can actually be a thing. So let me know. All right. So you wanted to kind of just have a general. Okay. And then let's see. Let's see. There we go. Thank you. Definitely. My nan lived at 22 and everyone was always there. Yep. It's because of the 4. Energy is such a grounding place. And the 22 is basically like, if there's energy there, they will come. It's very much like that for 22 things, especially 22 house. But there's so much love within a 22 house, and people just feel very supported there. A lot of times 4 makes us feel very supported naturally. The 11 house actually will help that too as well with, so if you can validate with the 11, but it will be more like of a nurturing place. People feel a little calm there. People feel like it's pleasant. So there's a beauty in the 11, if you can understand that. There's a softness, a gentleness, and or there's a beauty. So people walk in and they comment on the energy. So if you can understand this, because there's a little bit of a quiet vibration with the 11, and so it nurtures people in a very different way. Okay, but the 22 is very powerful. You said my nan was a great teacher while I was growing up, lost my faith a little, and found it alongside spirituality after my nan passed. My nan was a great teacher. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, let's see what comes up. Let me go into your chart and let me see if we have Nan coming in or what comes up within the energy. And I love that you're sharing your story with me. And you can say, yes, 11 for my mother. She was so nurturing, caring, and loving. So that 2 is a softer vibration. And so this really goes back to Jack's question. I'm bouncing around, but this is so perfect. This really goes back to Jack Handel's question. He asked about, are door numbers important? And so like addresses and door numbers are important. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because they support the vibrations of what we are. Or they support the vibrations of what we're building. So like with a 22 house, a lot of times you might not have the biggest personality, but that house is going to help flock people to you if you want to help. It'll help you create and build who you are. Now, if you have a big personality or if you're a helper with that 22 number, again, it's just going to amplify and make things easier. With the 11 as well, it's going to create like a healing space, a softness, a maternalness, okay? And since these spaces bring these energies to the equation, we pick them for certain reasons. We're made up of numbers. So we go, oh, I like how this place feels. I like how this place feels. Well, it feels good because usually it's in harmony with the numbers we already carry, or it's matching something we are looking to create within that time within our lives. But if we're having something much more long-standing, like if we're in a house for 20 years, 30 years, it's definitely going to match our chart and our vibration in a very strong way. So it's very, very interesting. It really is. Thank you. Hey, Debbie, what's up? Okay. I'm glad that this is hitting home. Okay. So Jennifer, let's go into a little bit what comes up for you. I like it. You are in, so I talk about monthly and yearly cycles. We'll talk a little bit about your monthly cycle because it's very relevant. This is a refreshed month for you. If you can feel that and if you can understand that, it gives you back a little bit of your energy, it gives you a little bit of back of your mental clarity, your focus, your motivation. And when people have 1 month, it helps them really self-actualize again. If there's like, let's say, lack of focus or health issues, or last month especially, there would have been connections, if you can understand, to like anniversary of grieving, or family was very, very much on your mind and your heart, and they still are. They always will be. But there's a peace and calmness that has returned. And you're like, yes, definitely my month. Yes. And so for the entire month, you're going to keep those energies, and going into next month, so that would be August, just heads up. There are certain cycles in numerology that are classical for everybody, even though everyone has different numbers. So once you hit that motivation, the next month it will try to integrate you into what have you learned, and it will make you emotional. It will make you feel very deeply. And so again, this is to help push out the energy, and this is to heal, and this is to say, this is how far I've come, and I can continue to release, and I'm strong. So even though sometimes you feel weak, just solidify how strong you are, that you're actually allowed to feel these things in such a different way. And I feel like spirit will be coming in much stronger next month too. Much stronger next month. They're coming in for the motivation. And so you're talking about earlier, you mentioned, I'm going to scroll up and find your comment. You said, always been seeing the repeating numbers. I feel like this month and last month, the last 3 months. I'm being corrected. The last 3 months have been really, really strong with you seeing those repeating numbers. And I feel like the 1122s have been very strong. So the 111s, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm really being pointed to that 1122. If you can understand that this month, the 1122 has been strong, whether you've seen it randomly in town or on a piece of paper. I just feel like there's something kind of like tangible that you saw recently that wasn't on a clock, as well as it being on a clock, but you saw it in a place other than being on a clock. So I want to validate that and put that out there. And then you're asking a question with that too. You said, had so many confusing messages since my partner's birthday in June. I had, and that was, okay, anniversary, birthday, got it. I had a message to pass on to somebody, felt a little uncomfortable, but today I had to give it and it was accurate. Yes. I feel like, hello, Fulham. Fulham in the house. So I had to kind of validate to that for you, the energies of feeling like you're in a place to do something, feeling like you're in a place to have that personal empowerment and self-motivation. And right now it's like, when we have that fire, so it can be a very mental thing, our fire, or it can be a very emotional thing, our fire, and it's a whole separate thing in itself. But right now, you have that mental motivation that is holding you afloat and saying, I got this. I feel like I need to do this. I see the vision. I'm thinking the thoughts clearly. And then come next month, you're going to be in a very emotional state within that fire, and to continue to be strong and to ride the energy. So can you understand how Nan, it's either like, she's showing me flowers. So I have to go with what I see. I have to go with what I feel. Sometimes things are very clear and sometimes they're not. So just bear with me. But she comes in with like flowers. So it's like almost like this little vase of flowers. They're very pretty. They're not just flowers from the garden. They're not just flowers where it's just like, oh, here you go. They're very pretty. So I feel like Nan had a habit of gifting flowers and helping to raise the vibe. You said there's no stopping me now. Awesome. And you said yes on receipts. Thank you for validating that. Thank you. With the numbers. Thank you. You said there's no stopping me now. And I feel like Nan would be given and should also gift these vases of flowers, if you can understand, because I'm seeing the stems and the water. And you said, yes, I can take flowers with Nan. Thank you. And so not only is she's saying that there's people that gave her so much love, but she gave love like she received it. And so there's these two messages within that. One, she really wants to encourage you, so she gives you flowers. So there's that. And so she's saying, lift your spirits. And she's like, smell the fragrance, smell the flowers. So there's a reference to smelling flowers with her, or that you'll be smelling a flower or a fragrance connected to her. So she wants to put that out there with you. And then also she wants you to give the flowers to others. Okay, so she's talking about, she's referencing the house, okay? She's referencing the number 22 and the things that we talked about. She's saying, like, I was so full of love because people gave it to me. And so she wants you to be a part of a community. Like, this is a community. I'm so grateful that you come and you share your love for spirit with us, Jennifer. She wants you to continue to be community minded. And so it's so fitting, because we are in a world month of 6. It's so fitting that Nan would say that. And so she wants you to be more of things, whether it's this or whether it's something else, because it's time for you to receive the love. And you saw how much love that Nan received. It's time for you to see the love. And she said, I get fragrant smells. Yes. And then so loving. Yes. And what kept her battery up was the love that was generated around her. So it kept going. When Nan was down, she got jumped from other people. Her little battery got jumped. And there was a self-stabilizing energy that she had within community, and she wants to come in with that. But she really, she wants you to smell the flowers. She wants you to remember the flowers. And I keep seeing these purple flowers with her. I don't know what kind of flower it is. It could be an iris. I'm getting flashes kind of those, but I'm getting a flash something much more smaller. It reminds me of a lilac, but it's not a lilac. I don't know what they are, but she's flashing me these light purple flowers. Okay. And you said, I'm so grateful to find this wonderful community, but I'm grateful to have you here too. And I'm grateful for all the questions that you ask. You really ask like really good, thoughtful questions and share always a very loving vibration. And it makes me happy to read what you have going on within your life and the epiphanies that you have and the real rawness too. That's something that I love, that word. Someone said that earlier in the show with Jennifer's Embracing Infinity. They said they really appreciate the rawness that the women bring. So it was like Debbie and Jennifer Roach, Debbie Romero and Jennifer Rose and Nancy Moratala. Well, you have that too, Jennifer. Like, you're willing to be like, I'm here. I want to help. I want to learn about truth. And so it's time I really feel, step out and sample and see what supports you somewhat locally too, online and locally. It's time to start looking. That doesn't mean it's time to make the leap and do it. But Grandma Nan is showing me this pocket watch. It's like a bronze pocket watch. It could be gold. But it has a little bit of this bronze color with how I'm seeing it. And she shows me this pocket watch and she's saying, all in good time, all in good time. But I want you to know how important it is. I want you to feel, I want you to think about how important it is. We have to look at all truths. So I want to love you and leave you within that, with Nan coming up, and she's just talking about how she's smelling all the things that you're cooking too. She wants to make sure, and she's watching the kids, and you've brought so many smiles to the kids, Please continue to have people bring so many more good emotions to you, so many smiles to you, and you have to have others to do that. But she's referencing like baking. There's so many good smells in the house. So you've been baking lately. Okay. All right. I want to say hello to everyone coming. You can understand this. Thank you. And Jennifer is saying, the past year I've had Debbie, Jennifer, and your beautiful self to thank for all the wonderful guests that have been amazing and helping my journey. Absolutely. Just, I'm blessed to be around all these people. I'm blessed to be around you. It's a beautiful community. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate you. All right, my love, I'm going to, let's go. I talked about I was going to go to, so where was her lovely name? So Michelle, are you still in the house? Michelle's next. And then I was going to go to Jack with his question too. Michelle, and then I want to say hello to everyone in the house. So Michelle, if you're still in the house, let me know. Nicole, hello. Thank you. Lisa. Hello. Hello, Nancy. Hey. It's great to see Nancy. Nancy was just on earlier. FI, hello. Everybody, shout out to Debbie again. I love how Debbie's always like, full of spiritual. It cracks me up. In the house, it's very true. Hello. Hello, Cheyenne. Hello. So, Michelle, are you still here? Michelle. If not, I'm going to go to Jack. And Jack, are you still here? We have people popping in and out. I totally get it. Let's see. Okay, Michelle is here. All right. Thank you. All right, and Jack is here. All right, so Angel's in the house. Thank you. You both came in right at the same time. I was like, where is everybody? And then they're like, we're here. Okay. So, Michelle, I'm going to go to you and let me pull your numbers. And you had a question too as well, I believe. Oh, you're constantly seeing 212. And let me get your numbers. Where were they? Put them down. There we go. 3, 4, 1970. Okay, cool. All right, found them. All right. And so let me know if you have a question, Michelle. I know we're going to address the 212 and anything else. If so, please just pop it down. Okay. So Michelle, excuse me, attitude 7. Personal day 4. Life path 6. And you're in a cycle of 4. And so you're seeing 5s because the 212 is a 5. All right, so let me just double check my math. Okay, yep. And yeah, that's right. That's right. All right. Because like I said, Lord help me if I'm not tired, and I usually kind of am. That's my Achilles heel. Sleeping is my Achilles heel. I eat so healthy. Thank God. That's how I look somewhat normal. I eat so healthy and I research so much about health, but that is something that I'm learning always to do, sleeping better. And if I don't sleep so good, sometimes my brain likes to jump around. But the great thing is spirit will take me to a number and they'll have me talk about it. And they will give me the energy of where I need to go in the number. So for some reason, if I'm in a completely different area and I'll go, why the heck did my brain go there? They will go, no. I understand why you said that. Like there's been times where I got a calculation wrong and it was a very easy calculation. I should have gotten it in 5 seconds. And it made me talk about, because I saw the archetype of her moving and how she was changing her house and all of that. And so I talked about that with her. And then I went, oh my gosh, I just noticed that's not your number. But she's like, yeah, but I am moving. And, I am like wanting to have a different environment within my house. That's part of the reason I'm moving, not only for work, but I wanted to move anyway, even if I didn't get the job. So spirit is funny like that. And so I do trust, even when I'm wonky myself. Anyway, so tangent, but you're seeing 555 and 333 also. Okay, cool. I love it. All right. So the 555 is a 6 vibration and the 33 is a 9. So in numerology, because you're asking kind of about why you're seeing certain things, you're always going to look at the sum total of the number, and then you're going to look at the additional numbers inside. So, for instance, the 333, that's a 9. You're looking at that for a 9 vibrational message that you're going to understand about what that vibrational message is through the energy of the 3 a little bit too as well. But it's the 9 first. Okay. So you do have a common theme with 5 showing up though. That is coming into play. And so it is showcasing something to me. Okay. It's actually trying to get you out of your comfort zone. You have numbers popping up that actually aren't harmonious to your chart. And so what that means usually is they're trying to make you uncomfortable, or they're trying to showcase to you, if you are uncomfortable, to keep going, and it's okay. It's okay. Okay. And all the 5s coming up, with the 555, yes, even though it's the 6, but the 212 as well. It's showcasing that there needs to be a major change within life, a major change within life. So this is very much in utilizing a new skill, or I'm really going to say too, embracing the energy of forgiveness. So letting go of these old parts of you that don't serve you anymore. And we all have them. I have to kind of review every once in a while and go, what doesn't serve me anymore? What needs to go? And sometimes that takes 5 years to let go of a certain realization. Go, well, yeah, I've been working on this one for 10 years, right? But I'm easing it out. I'm easing it out. But it's really just, it's letting me know that there's a lot being kicked up right now, if you can understand this. So you're in a place that you understand now certain things on a deeper level, and you feel things on a deeper level, because I feel you reviewing like things that have been happening with family and friends. So I'm being taken to like these more intimate relationships, these close relationships into your life, and you feel the hurt, you feel the confusion, and you're like, I wish it didn't go this way. I wish it didn't go this way. And the energy of the universe is inviting you to, you can understand this. Thank you. And the energy of the universe is inviting you to move with it, because you're in a completely different place. Before, you didn't like it, but not necessarily you felt it. It was kind of just like, I don't like it, and I'm kind of just I can't control it. That was like, if you can understand, that was a mantra. I can't control it, so I have to kind of just move forward, and I'll take it for what it is. It hurts, but I'm not really going to focus on it because I can't control it. Now it's coming in that you're feeling the hurts, and you're allowing yourself to transmute the spiritual lesson, and you're allowing yourself to let go, because you're like, okay, I'm not going to carry this. Before, you carried it, but you couldn't control it. Now you don't have to carry it, and you can continue to just let it go. So it's very transformational, actually. But all of the 5s are saying, allow yourself to be uncomfortable and continue to heal and breathe and move the energy forward. That's the number one thing that I'm getting for you with these number sequences that you're seeing. But you're seeing the 5, the 6, and the 9. Okay. If I had you for a full session, I'd kind of ask you kind of when you're seeing certain numbers, and that would help me to distinguish even further messages for you with that as well. Okay. The last thing I want to say is really embrace the minds for observation, and then take the observation. So what you're feeling and reviewing with friends and family, take it for the observation, but then ultimately merge the observation into experience. So experience with the full effect what this feels and what you're learning, and all these new sensations coming up, and you can't help but soar. Like, that's a spiritual warrior embodying the message, not just thinking through the message, but embodying the message. Okay. He said, yes, ma'am, I do understand this. Okay. Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to go to Jack now. All right. So, Jack, your question, excuse me. Are doors significant? And you talked about 17. Okay. Cool. And I think you popped on your birthday earlier, did you? If not, no worries. I'll answer the question as it comes. Okay, you did. Um, I, 10, 3, 60. Okay, cool. All right. So I got your birth date, and let me just get a fresh kind of piece of paper if I have it. Look at that. I'm just going to transfer it over. Yep. Okay. Got it. All right. So your attitude 4, your personal day 3, and you are life path 2. Okay. All right. And let me just double check that. So we got a 4, the 3, and then the life path 2. That is correct. You are in a cycle of 3, and you are in a month of 1. Okay. Yeah. I love it. We usually have multiple same attitude numbers in the house, so there's sometimes crossover messages for people. Like Jennifer, you're going to have some crossover messages because you're an attitude 4 too, and you're dealing with similar cycles. So it's always fun like that. Jack, you are a planner. You are someone who prefers things to be more systematic. I don't have your full chart here, but seeing the 4 and the 2, it lets me know that consistent and steady is better than quick and rushed. Or what I want to say is bursts for you. As long as it's not continuous and all of a sudden, like, I'm going to be inspired here, I'm going to be spontaneous here. The bursts and spontaneity aren't the best for you. It's more so being methodical, really taking in the details and making sure that things are done well. And because of this, like, you are a leader for others because you hold space. So the 4s and the 2s, they're balancing numbers, and they help elevate spaces, heal spaces, clear out spaces, and improve spaces. And so that goes for not only a house, but that goes for businesses too. So it is your job to really catch the details and be thorough, and you amplify experiences because of that, as well as people acknowledge your leadership for being able to do that. So that comes into play. You're in a cycle of 3, and I'll get to your door question. I'm really bouncing around, so please just thank you for being patient. You're in a cycle of 3, so this is actually quite a busy year for you. 3 is a social vibration. It's the number of communication. It's the number of artistry in many different forms. So on one hand, you might be inspired to create more again and get out into the world and really enact a part of who you are that you haven't been utilizing with that creative force. There's that longing that like surges up again. And then on the other hand, with that cycle 3, it's always the opportunity number. So what happens is if you have an idea and you want to forge an opportunity, people just say yes, yes, yes. Or people will come to you and say, here's an opportunity. Would you like to do this? Here's an opportunity. Would you like to do this? So it's a very, very busy year. It's good though. It's very good. And 3s are usually a positive year too. It's a very uplifting number. So my say in that is really enjoy the year, enjoy the success, enjoy the opportunity, because some of these opportunities can help you for the next 5 to 8 years. I'm really seeing like an 8 in that. And I guess that will take me to the door number. But it's for almost another 10 years, so I'm seeing 8 years. Like this can solidify some of the things that you're trying to do within the business. So it might seem a lot, it might seem too much at times, but this year is really the foundation for many other years. So be thankful and happy and welcome these opportunities, and know that it doesn't have to be for this year. Some of these things, most things will be actually for this year. And some of these things could actually be long-term contracts. And that's why I really want to encourage these opportunities are more long-term contracts than short-term. So really dive into that part of the opportunity and stimulate that part of the relationship with the people that are coming to you. So that is coming into play with business, with the doors. So I'm going to, if you have a question, I'm happy to answer it, but I'm going to bounce around to your question. Doors are very important. If we have a house, we're going to have the only person with that address. If we have an apartment, or we're part of some type of building, we're going to share addresses, and then we're looking at the unit number or the door. So it's different from country to country. I don't know exactly how it works. I'd have to kind of break it down. But basically, in numerology, you're supposed to find what your space is. And if anyone shares your space, shares your address, you're going to have a distinguishing number on your door or your mailbox. And that's your main number. Now, you're going to look at the other numbers too. Sure, that's a thing within itself. But your most influential number is what's on your door. Okay? So in this case, and it has to be functional. Like some people just like will stick things on their door. That actually will be very influential too. You can actually stick a number of your door and help change the vibration of your house. That's a real thing. But with the actual like mail and people recognizing how, like, let's say your door is 17 within the world and it has functional reality. Okay, that's the strongest number we're looking at. That's what I just want to say to everybody. It makes sense to me that you would have an 8 unit. It makes sense to me. So you're life path 2, and people with life path 2, they will seek out units with a 4, an 8, or a 2. And if you can think back within your life, if you've had any units, when you add up the numbers, so like 1 plus 7 is 8, that's an 8 unit. If you've had addresses or units that have broken down to a 2, a 4, or an 8. And you're saying, I imagine door numbers through life tell your path. Your door numbers will a lot of times be harmonious with your life path. Or if you have a significant number within your chart, like for instance, I have only like half of an important part of your chart. There's many other calculations, but I look at 6 numbers, like 6, 8 numbers mainly, with creating like a foundational understanding of who a person is. And then there's like way more than that, but I really look at those 6 or those 8 numbers. Well, I have 3 of them right now. So let's say with those other 3 numbers, if I'm just looking at 6 per se, if I saw that there was a pattern going on within your chart, I'd go, ooh, that's an important number for you. Okay. Or I might see even 2 numbers that are in very influential placements that are similar or harmonious. I'd go, oh, that's an important number for you. So it's not only your life path, but your life path will be very influential to the numbers that you pick. How can I put it? So, another thing that I'll say, and then I'll kind of go back into the energy unless you have questions. Like my husband, okay, my husband, he actually has a life path 7. He actually has a life path 7, and he's an attitude 7, and those are very influential 7s. But he has a very important 3 in his chart, and he has 2 3s in his chart as well. And 3s follow him everywhere. Like 3s follow him way more than 7s do. And it's because of certain things within his chart. Yep. So like, for instance, You have to look at your soul number, your personality number. You have to look at kind of things that you've found that you've gravitated to in life. Those numbers will always follow you. Okay. So a lot of times it goes with your life path number, but not always, because in this case, a 7 is opposite energy from a 3. Do you see how interesting it can be? So he has a lot of 7s and 3s in his chart. Those are opposite numbers. So the energy has to go one way or another. And for him, it's the 3, even though very, very influential 7s. Okay. Oh yeah, your time of birth will actually. A lot of numerologists don't look at time of birth per se, but your time of birth is still influential. I find when I look at people's times of birth that happen to give it to me, because in the past I'm like, I don't need it, but now I've been working with it a little bit more. It will mimic patterns within your chart, and I've noticed that with very odd things too, like if you don't give this out right now, but I'm just being funny. But if you look at things like your license or your social security number, or sometimes your phone number, there's certain sequences that follow you. It's very, very, very fascinating. It's very, very, very fascinating. Anyway, so you said I don't have the exact time of birth, right? That's okay. And then you said we attract the frequencies of the numbers. We are the frequencies. We are certain frequencies, so we attract that to us. We attract that to us. Since we are things, we find things that are like us, or we have experiences with things that repel us. Okay? So we are all made up of certain types of energy when we are born. Like astrology believes this, like when we are born, where we are born at that time, we are we are configured with certain planets, and certain placements within the sky, and that's supposed to influence our personality based on where things were just sitting at that exact moment. And so we take on certain frequencies because of that. And then also within numerology, it's very fascinating, because we take on certain frequencies based on our identity that we've been given, or we have chosen through our name. So that's a whole nother thing. And really, I guess I'll just say this, because I could go on a tangent for 100 years. Honestly, there's just so much to say with it. Like even in like Chinese philosophy, so they believe that you're born with a certain energy from that, like ancestral energy, or what you get from your parents. The energy of your parents combine, and it goes into who you will be. It influences who you will be. So they believe that there is the energy you've been given, and then it's also the energy that you are uniquely born with when you come into the world, and then the energy that you'll create. So there's many different energy streams in the world, and different systems define them certain ways. So yeah, and once you learn about what that is, you can understand what you attract, and why you're in certain situations that you are, why you repeatedly like meet certain people, or why you gel with certain people, why certain people assume certain things of you or treat you in certain ways. Whether you're the nicest person ever or the coldest person ever, you're still going to get a similar vibration. And there's ways to offset that and balance the energy, and quell the energy. It's very, very fascinating. Every number is relative. Every number has a law, but every number works relatively within the configuration that we are. Okay? So if we have a 6 within our chart, we're going to have 6 traits. 6, the law of 6 is there. The vibration of 6 is just the vibration of 6. But depending on what other numbers we have with it and where it sits, it becomes a relative equation. Okay? But the laws itself, they're very fixed. I hope that makes sense. So it's a little bit of an art form, but it's based on actually some logical rules for what makes numerology in certain systems. So with numbers do come rules and a bit of logic. Of course, it's not mathematics, but yeah, absolutely. Universal language, numbers, color, shapes. I'm sure there's all those things. Frequency matching. Yep. That, yes, absolutely, absolutely. I love it. So let me just, I'm going to hop back to the 17. So the 17 is an 8 vibration. So it doesn't surprise me that you have that. And I don't know if you're referencing your current or something within the past, or if you're just referencing any number, but a 17 door or 17 address is the 8. And so an 8 will cultivate a nicer unit. I know that sounds funny, but it's very true. There will be other units around you, and from the outside, whether it's a plant or the number of flowers or a certain color, a bush that the flowers are blooming and they just bloom more pretty. They have a more vibrant pink or red or whatever. Or just the way that the light hits the house, or for whatever reason you have a little bit more extra room in your backyard, or the way that your unit is configured, it's just more aesthetically pleasing. Okay. An 8 vibration helps to actually encourage a nicer experience aesthetically. Okay, so people will comment, oh yeah, like your unit looks really nice, or wow, and it will. And if you look around, you'll have a nicer facing to your house um, than some of your neighbors. And you could do nothing with decoration. Like literally, you're not changing anything. It's just naturally how things configure around the 8, because 8 is the number of beauty. It's the number of physicality and beauty and manifestation. And so when 8 energy has positivity around it, it creates beautiful things like actual physical, uh, visual beauty. Okay. And so you can understand that. And you can understand that even if, let's say, your neighbors have flowers, they're not blooming quite the same way. Okay. And so this is kind of just naturally how things configure around it, not somebody puts a lot of effort into it to change, to manipulate that, if that makes sense. If you have like a neighbor and they're putting in, let's say, 8 hours of work every week into their garden, sure, their place is going to look amazing. But we're talking about how things just happen with ease, with utter ease. And sometimes an 8 vibration will just give you natural beauty, even if somebody is putting all this extra work into their house. It's quite fascinating. And you said, I thought I was being anal, fussing over the appearance of my house. Well, someone who is more anal about fussing over appearance will most likely choose an 8. Okay. I live I live in an 8 house too, and there are 8s in my chart, and I am anal when it comes to certain visual things. Now I can't control everything. I'm actually fixing a lot of things within the house, but I'm very, very anal with when selecting. I'm just like, if I'm going to be here for a while, I'm going to want this, like that. I'm looking for this, and there's a certain vibration of the space too, and there's a reason for it. You said I don't do too much. Exactly, exactly, exactly. It just is very fascinating, huh? So let's see. Jennifer says that was my partner. That was my partner. Love the garden, outdoors, and fishing. Absolutely. It's very fascinating. It's very, very fascinating. All right, let me bounce to one more person. So I'm gonna pick, depending on who's popped down their birth dates. I love numerology, Jack. It's so fascinating, and thank you for understanding and listening to my little tangents along the way. Let's see. Julie, are you still in the house? Julie McMaster? Julie McMaster, are you still in the house? Julie. I'm gonna throw out another name. Let's see. I'm looking to the top. People were putting down some of their. think Cheyenne and Julie McMaster. Let me see if Julie is here. Oh, Julie's here. Okay, cool. Yeah, it takes just a moment. Hey, Julie. So if you can put down your birth date or your month and your day at least, that would be awesome. And then you talked about your house breaks down into a 7. Okay, I love that. I love it. Jack's is an 8 and yours is a 7. You said yes. Okay, cool. Do you have a question? Do you have a question? So I'm going to just do your numbers. If you have a question, pop it down. If you want a general, let me know. You are an attitude 5. You are a personal day 3. And you are life path. I don't have your year. No worries. Let's see. You are in a cycle of 4 in a month of in a month of 2. That's right. Yep, that's right. Okay. All right. So then for a general, I'm going to give you a general. Awesome. Okay. So it lets me know with you having an attitude 5, like, so with Jack, I'm going to use him as an example. Jack, I said, like, it's good that he's methodical and planning and thinking things out. Well, for you, with the way that your energy goes, you're the opposite. It's really good for you to be have spontaneity. It's really good for you to like be on the fly and on the move, because you build a lot of creativity and learning. For just trying new things, going, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that, I'm going to go with the flow, and things go more often well for you than not. You find the right people. Someone gives you a suggestion, and you go, yep, that will work, just based on you being inspired to just wing it. So winging it goes well. You have a personal day 3. And so people actually will come to you and ask you questions and feel very comfortable around you. So 3 is a very social vibration that you emanate, that other people feel within you. Okay. And so it'll actually pull people to you because they feel like that you're safe, you're friendly, and you have an upbeat personality. So if you can think about it, when you've been with like family or friends in groups, you've been actually most approached on average than, let's say, another family member. If like, let's say if no one's facing somebody, if you're just out and about and you're not even engaging and no one knows the person, a lot of times they're likely to come up to you because, again, you promote that openness. Okay. And same within the grocery store, you might find yourself being approached where someone will just ask you something randomly, again, because your energy feels safe and friendly. So you can use that to your advantage for meeting people, always creating new friendships, or actually making people feel like you're an ally. So that will always go to your advantage. And I would say use it. You have like a social and charismatic card in your back pocket. You are in a cycle of 4. So this is the yearly cycle. So your theme for the year is about learning and actually changing and improving your house. Okay. So you might find that you want to move where you say yes and thanks. Okay. Thank you. Absolutely. You might find that if you can understand this too, Julie, you're inspired to actually rearrange your house or put up like new things on the wall, or like switch things out that are on the wall. Cause I'm shown the wall, like something like art or something cute that you have up on the wall, and you're like, I'm done with that, or I want to change that, or like, it's like seasonal stuff. And you said, oh my God, I was just thinking about that today. Awesome. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that. And the 4 will make you want to do that. The 4 will make you want to rearrange things, and that will be happening for this year and a little bit into next year too. Okay, because 4 is all about the house and how can I improve the house, how can I improve my routine. I also feel like, again, I feel like you're a coffee drinker, and this is going to sound really bizarre, but whether you've been thinking about it or you will change, I feel like there's a better coffee brand out there for you. And that's like a big deal for someone to change up their morning routine like that. But I feel like there's a coffee brand adjustment. There's a morning adjustment with what you are ingesting every day, something that serves you better, suits you better. So look out for that. And you said, just made a major change with it. Okay, cool. And that's the coffee, correct? And thank you with the coffee. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just validating. So something you've already done. Thank you for understanding. I appreciate that. And so that supports you better. And they're giving like a huge thumbs up. There's also, well, I just, spirit will give me things sometimes, and I'll go like, okay, well, so they're giving me the 4-leaf clover. I get that sign sometimes, or the 3-leaf clover, excuse me. And so I look at your last name, McMaster. Oh, that's Irish. But they're giving me like some type of nod to celebrating someone in the family from the Irish part, the background. So there's a nod to celebrating and honoring somebody in the family connected to the Irish part of I'm just gonna say of the family. I don't know how else other to say that. So that's coming in to honor and acknowledge and to bring more unity. There's excitement within that. So let me know if that makes sense. And she said, can't wait. Awesome. And this month, they're inviting you to actually really dive deep. Dive deep, because you're in a month of 2, and 2 is all about like going into whether it's meditating or journaling, or again, feeling and allowing things to move and grow. So I do really think like stretching is really coming into being important. Like you've been reviewing, this sounds kind of interesting, like your feet or like your legs or your joints, like it kind of all in that department, and understanding like I need to do again something a little bit different because you've been slowing down and a little bit more careful of your health and allowing pockets to examine that. So again, feel so you know, just like the coffee, time for a change, time for a change. And so they're giving me more thumbs up with time for a change. They're also talking about, you said, great, my legs have been bothering me. Thank you. With I don't know what it is. They keep flashing me to that. I do feel like it's honoring someone in the family connected to the Irish side. So forgive me, I kind of can't figure this one out. Is there a Patrick within the family though? Is there a Patrick within the family? They're flashing me something like talk about, and I can't, sometimes we can't figure things out, and that's okay. But there's something to do with like a Patrick within the family. Okay, there is a Patrick within the family. Okay, well, there's something about honoring Patrick and support around Patrick. And Patrick, I just feel like the energies feel like they're on an upswing. So there's been some type of improvements, and just continue to like bolster the support and bolster the coming together. And I hope you can understand that, because they keep flashing me, like I said, Patrick, and in relation to family, and things are coming together, things are going better. I hope you can understand that. But ultimately, I feel like, so one of your questions I feel like was regarding like spirit too, whether it's like when am I gonna kind of have more abilities or improve my abilities, or when am I gonna like see like my dad or my grandfather. I feel like this is like connected to a father figure in spirit. Okay, well, I'm not sure either with the Patrick. I'm not sure either, but you can understand there's a Patrick in the family, and there's some type of celebration that will happen to, again, the things that I was referencing. And so you're understanding, then yes. So the things that I'm feeling, I'm like, okay, I'm in there, but the whole Patrick thing, not sure, but it will come together. Okay, so yes. So you're wondering like what I said, and they're literally saying that this is the perfect month to actually, if you can, like sit on the, I feel like I want to sit on the floor and stretch my legs, and it's like rub my legs and again, tend to, where it's sore, but at the same time, I go, this feels good. And you allow yourself just to sit and close your eyes. And because I feel like there's a lot of light in your family room. I believe it's your family room. It's like where you watch TV. So I feel like there's these big windows, a lot of light coming in. So sometimes that will be like quite bright. But even in that, if you feel really good in that room, do it. Do it. And and if you can, once you're comfortable, take a next step further and go into a room and turn off the lights. And I feel like that will help you sense your father. I feel like this is a great month to helping to sense your father. And you'll feel it in ways where you'll feel him standing, and I feel like you already feel him around, but you want more. You want some indication, you want some validation. And I feel like, and you said yes, that's good to know about the lights. Yes. So I encourage you, being where you're comfortable, but then transitioning to somewhere with like there's not a lot of lights, because you want to feel rather than see with your physical eyes. So then you can see with your spiritual eyes. Okay. And so closing your eyes, I do really feel like it's going to enhance the feelings that you have of, I feel someone standing in the room. I feel like that's dad. I feel like I recognize how he feels. I feel like something feels familiar. Okay. So it's really much into the feeling, but there's going to be some type of shape acknowledged. And just to know that this was a man that made you feel so safe. So when you do feel him, just take a deep breath and know that if you do feel unsafe, it's because it's a new experience, because someone that you love is with you. And you'll know that from the familiarity that you're feeling as you feel him. Okay. So I'm going to give that to you. And there's something about, as I was about to transition, I got like flashed something gold. And I feel like it's connected. Sometimes things aren't clear. And so I just got to be honest when they're not clear. But I got flashed a gold bracelet, I believe. And it was flashed for you right when I was saying goodbye and thank you to your father for stepping on in. But I got flashed a gold bracelet. Okay. So I'm not sure what that is. But well, thanks for the Spirit World. I do feel like there is a celebration coming up with family. I don't know if it's anniversary or birthday, but I do feel like there's a celebration coming up with family at the end of the month, if you can understand that. And I just feel like I love you so much. I love you so much. So, thank you, Julie, for being on today. And I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for being with me on the Numerology Hour. We bounced around, and whether it's a classic numerology reading, or using the energy of numbers in kind of more creative ways, or even using numerology like I do frequently to go into like a little bit of mediumship, or to go further into psychic and using it as a springboard, it is really an honor to serve. Thank you so much. You said, my son has and used his gold wedding band. There was an acknowledgement of gold jewelry, that's for sure. I don't know why I got flashed something that looked like a bracelet. I'm not sure, but there was acknowledgement of gold jewelry connected to him. So that could be it. I thank you so much for putting out that. That might be it. I'm not sure. I just know I got flashed a gold bracelet, and it was something connected to you from the other side. It could be another loved one, but a gold bracelet was given to you, and it felt like more like a snake chain. Like because there's like there's box chains, there's, I don't know how the braided chains, but this felt like a smooth gold bracelet that was flashed in. for you. So a gold bracelet connected to someone in spirit. And it could have been the acknowledgement of just gold jewelry, but I thank you for listening to my message and honoring the energy that comes in, and thank you again so much, truly. Thank you, Jennifer, and thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Cheyenne. I will see you next week for the Psychic Hour. I'll be having Kimberly Meredith on, and we're going to be doing readings on Wednesday, and we're going to be having people like live in. So that's something we're working on. I'm going to be having people like, if you want to come on screen and get a reading rather than texting it, we'll be doing some of those. We'll still be doing some of the text ones too, but we're going to be like mixing things up a little bit. So we'll be doing psychic readings. She's a medical intuitive and also a medium too as well. So we'll be doing some of that, and that will be on Wednesday, the 17th, with Kimberly Meredith. And then Debbie will be on earlier that day. So see you on Wednesday. Thank you so much. And please go with love, light, and luck, everybody. And don't forget to live. See you next week. Bye.